teams didn't really want to take a chance on him. He is down to a svelte about 230 right now and is very quick.
Stamkos fires, scores! That didn't take long. 2-0 Lightning.
So leading up to July 1st this year, Leafs fans were all going crazy thinking Steven Stamkos would sign the Leafs, but instead he opted to re-sign the Tampa Bay Lightning on an 8-year deal, so he's locked up for a very long time. But today I have a bigger question here. What if Steven Stamkos did sign the Toronto Maple Leafs, and how'd they do? So first things first, let's go and send Steven Stamkos over to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And now it's done. So now Steven Stamkos on the Toronto Maple Leafs in this game. Let's go and start up a franchise mode sim 1 year and see how the Toronto Maple Leafs do and how Steven Stamkos does as a member of the Leafs. So here's a preview for our 2016-17 NHL season with the Leafs, and Steven Stamkos obviously #1 center on here for the first line, JVR and McCalloch. But I think let's go and check out the captaincy though. I want to see if he's a captain. He better be the captain. Is he? And no captain on here, so we're gonna go make Steven Stamkos the captain just based on that he needs it obviously. So we'll go and take away the C from Bozak, assign the captaincy there to Stammer, and we'll take away from Hunwick, I guess, and give it to Bozak because he's been on the team longer. Or should we actually give it to... Nah, we'll do the same. Let's give it to Bozak. Or should we actually give it to Morgan Riley? Where's Riley? We'll give it to Riley. Why not? There we go. So Morgan Riley, Leo Komarov, and Stamkos. All assistant captain / captain is Stamkos. Let's go and sim this first season, at least the first chunk of the season, and see how we do with Stamkos on the team.
You know, if I say something, I mean it. These things happen. Yeah.
So in the preseason, we went 4-3 as a team, but Stamkos, I believe he had 7 points in 7 games, so point per game pace for Stamkos on that preseason. Bozak had 5 points, JVR had 6, and so on. So let's go and move on to the full season, see how Steven Stamkos does the first chunk of the season, and then we'll go take a look at the lineups and all kind of stuff.
Been sitting on the charts like a beach chair.
So right now we stopped at about, I believe, October 29th or 26th, and right now we're 5-0-1, so we start off 5-0-1 to start off the season. We won against Winnipeg, Minnesota, the Chicago, the Boston Bruins, and the Senators to open up the season. So doing pretty well so far, but so did the Canadiens, and they missed the playoffs last year too. So let's go and sim up to about December 3rd, I guess 1st, and see how we're doing. So we're at the month of December 1st. We are 16-3-4 right now, so we're killing it as a team. But I guess Stamkos is the catalyst, the reason why we're doing so well. But let's go to our division. We're #1 in it, ahead of Ottawa, who's in second. But let's see the stats. So Stamkos 31 points on the season so far, within like 23 games. So Stamkos doing very well so far. So 31 points, his 12 goals, 19 assists on the season. JVR is 19, Bozak 18. Cotter at 18, and McCalloch 17 on the line, and Stamkos. So, doing very well so far. Let's go check out the goalies, though. See if Fredrik Anderson is the reason why we're doing so well, too. And Freddie, how's he doing? A 924 save percentage. He's doing actually really good. Damn. Freddie's killing it. Same with Jonas Enroth, too, at backup. He's a very good backup, but both goalies are killing it. I'm liking it 13-1-3, so we're losing in overtime, but we're winning in regulation, and we only lost a few games in regulation, too, with 1 or 2, but anyway, Stamkos killing it right now. Let's go and continue on the simulation and see how we're doing at the end, I guess, of January, maybe even early February, something like that. So the game for the All-Star game here, right now we're 28, 13, and 6, I believe. So we're not doing the greatest right now. We were doing better earlier, but anyway, we did drop second in the division. Right now, Ottawa has 63 points. We only have 62, and Detroit, I believe, is 59. So we're not doing the greatest right now. Our offense did go up though, so some player overalls must have jumped up a bit. But let's catch up some of this stuff on here. Looks like Stamkos is on the All-Star game, though, so obviously Stamkos is going to be on the All-Star team. But one player made it to the All-Star game, so let's go check out some stats right now. Just see how well Stamkos is doing so far. Through, I believe, a lot of games. There's a lot of games. 54 points, though, for Stamkos, so doing very well right now. And on 47 games too, which is pretty good. But in the second we have JVR 39 points in 47. We do have Bozak 34, but Stamkos 24 goals, 30 assists, less goals than assists, which is pretty good to see. And 20 penalty minutes, but a minus 1 for plus minus, so not the greatest right now. Morgan Rielly is 10, but not that bad, I guess. It's okay. 10 power play goals though. He's doing really well in the power play. Anything else? I believe that's all the stats right now for Stamkos. We're focusing on him on this episode, really, but. Leafs doing okay though. We're doing way better than I thought we would. I thought we'd be like near the bottom of the league, or not like bottom of the league, more like top 20. But right now we're actually like top 15, I think. We're not doing that bad. So we're 28, 13, 6. Let's check out where we're at in the league. So in the Atlantic Division, we're second, obviously, to Ottawa. Let's see the entire Eastern Conference. Where we're at? We're second in the Eastern Conference. So Ottawa number 1. They're doing well. Damn. But let's see the entire league. We're 6th in the league. Wow. Chicago number 1, Nashville number 2, Ottawa number 3 for some reason, San Jose number 4. We're ahead of Washington right now, but that's because Washington's played. They played more games than us. Wow. We're better than Washington right now, so that's pretty cool to see. So the Leafs with Stamkos doing very well this season, though. Stamkos is just the right catalyst to get this offense going, the team going too, and I think Freddie's doing well too. Freddie, he has 25 W's in the season, 8 and 3 for the losses. But look right now, 2.18 goals against average, and let's see his save percentage. A 925, so doing very well right now. 1,113 shots against, and looks like 6 shutouts, so not too bad for Freddie Anderson. 89 overall, so he's doing very good in net for the Leafs. But I just want to see how well Stamkos is doing when it comes to Eastern Conference goals and points. So looks like Ovechkin 52 points. I don't know, 62 points actually. Stamkos looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th in the league, or at least the Eastern Conference when it comes to points. Let's see goals though, actually. I know Ovechkin has more goals. Sort this by goals. So it looks like Stamkos is 5th in goals too, so which is pretty good. But let's move on to the entire league though, see how well he's doing there. So when it comes to the league, obviously you have Ovechkin with number 1 with 62 points. We have Kane 57, Tarasenko 52, Giroux 54, but we do have Stamkos with 24 goals, which is good for 7th. But let's see points though. Points, he is 4, 5. I think in the same spot, 7th, I believe. Yep, he is. Okay, so 7th when it comes to goals, and 7th when it comes to points for the NHL. So not too bad, I guess, for Steven Stamkos with the Leafs, because I guess he's like their only good scorer, I guess, in the team, unless you count JVR, which is not that bad, but I mean, he's okay. So 47 games in, the Leafs are 28 and 13 and 6. Let's go and sit in the last half of the season and see how well we're doing, because Stamkos made the All-Star team, so maybe go and lead the Leafs to a playoff berth. I really don't know at this point, but trade deadline's right there. Should we go trade deadline? Now we don't really need to. We'll go to the end of the season, actually, because nothing else is really exciting. So, sim to the end of the season, see how well the Leafs are doing. Hopefully, you make the playoffs, because I want to see how good Stamkos does in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So, right now, it's the end of the season. We went 47, 25, and 9. So, our team actually killed it with Stamkos on the team. So, I'll check out some points, see how well he did when it comes to stats and all that kind of stuff. But, looks like our division actually was really good. Damn. So, we had finished with Ottawa, 104 points. Montreal had 104. We had 103 points, so very close to getting that number 1 in our division. But then we have Detroit over 100 there. So Stamkos finished with 88 points on the season. Wow, he must be up there for Art Ross, maybe around that. But he finished with 88 points on the Leafs, 31 more than the next Leaf on here, which is JVR. So we just killed it there. But let's go check out some goals though. So Stamkos scored 33 goals, 55 assists on the Leafs for 88 points. JVR had 26, 31, and 8 and 57. Nazem Kadri had 30, 27, and 50 for 57 on there. Let's go check out what we did with goalies, though. I want to see how well Freddie Anderson did. And he finished 9-11 save percentage, not the greatest, I guess. But he did finish with 40 wins, 16 losses, and 5 overtime losses. Damn. 2.56 goals against average. Not too bad for him. But let's go check out what happened with the Tampa Bay Lightning, though. I want to see how well they did compared to us. So we had 47 wins, not the... Actually, our division is actually really good, really competitive here. So Detroit, 100 points on there, and they still made the playoffs. Tampa Bay, 94 points, actually. Still made the playoffs, so they went 42, 30, and 10 without Stamkos. Still pretty good. But we went 47, 26, and 9 with Stamkos, so still better in Tampa Bay when it comes to those W's. And same with overtime losses and losses overall. But let's see, I guess point percentage? I don't know. We did better than almost all of them in every stat. Goals for, we finished with more goals than them. Goals, let's just go through this quickly. Just go and short it off a bit. Don't want to go through every single stat, but our home 23, 13, 5, not not the worst. 24-13-4 when it comes to away, and 5-3 in our last 10. 5-3-2 in our last 10. So not too bad, I guess, to end off the season. But let's go check out what we did compared the entire Eastern Conference. That's what it was. So we finished third in the Eastern Conference. So all three of the top 3 teams in the East were in the same division, in the Atlantic Division. But Ottawa number 1 with 104, Montreal tied with 104, and Toronto 103, and Washington 102, Detroit 100, and so on and so forth. So Pittsburgh didn't even make the playoffs. Wow, so our team is conference is very competitive. But Boston didn't make the playoffs, Pittsburgh didn't make the playoffs, New York didn't make the playoffs, and obviously Buffalo didn't either. So actually, it was a really good season for everybody in the East. But let's see the entire league. So San Jose finished with 110 points, number 1, 50 wins on the season. Wow. St. Louis 51, Ottawa 48 wins, Montreal 50, and the Leafs finished 6th in the league with 47 wins, 26 losses, and 9 overtime losses. So tied with Chicago, but we did score less goals, so we're behind them. But we are ahead of Washington, Nashville, Detroit, Anaheim, the Islanders, Flyers, and the Lightning, and so on. So we just killed it when it comes to the entire league, though 6th in the league. That is very unexpected. But Colorado finished last in the league when it comes to points. So I don't know, that was a really good season. We did finish pretty well with Stamkos. Let's go check out what we did, or we're gonna do in the playoffs though. So in the playoffs, it's a different story though. Our offense right now, 90 offense, 92 defense, and 89 goalies. So did very well. Let's go and end off this regular season here and see how well we do in the playoffs. We're facing in the first round. We're facing Montreal. Wow. Okay, so there's the playoff matchups right there. It looks like we're facing Montreal. Ottawa's facing Tampa Bay, and so on. Edmonton made the playoffs too. Wow. Okay. Pretty crazy, but let's go and sim this Montreal series, see if we can take some W's though. The entire season actually, we've been just losing against Montreal a lot, because I think our season series we lost, obviously, because it looks like we went, and where's the first game or last game we played against Montreal? We lost 3-2 in the last game. Where's the next one? We lost 6-1 in the last other game, 6-1, 3-2, and I think, oh yeah, and we lost 3-2 there in November. And so on. And we lost 2-1 here in October. So we've got swept by Montreal in the season series. So it does not look good for us in the playoffs. But, I mean, we did almost beat Boston in 2013. So you never really know when it comes to that. We do the unexpected in the playoffs when you do make it. But let's go and sim the first game of the Montreal series and see how well we do. I'll go and sim up to this day and see how well we do. Hopefully we can take this W here in Montreal, because they get the more points, so they start off with home ice advantage. But let's check this out. So let's sim the first game and see how well we do. So we'll sim the first period. So 2-1 here. So it looks like Nazem Kadri and Lupul against Plekanec. Second period, 3-2 here. Roman Polak and Max Pacioretty. And we won the first game though, 3-2. We take the first game. Now we're 1-0 in the playoffs against Montreal. But did Stamkos do anything? I don't think he did. Let's move on to the next game though, because we don't really look at stats too much. But Tyler Bozak did pretty well, I guess. But let's go into the next game. We are still in Montreal though, against the home ice. It's gonna suck, but I mean, we took the first W, so you never know what's gonna happen in the second game of the series. Hopefully, we can win though. That's for sure. We'll sim both those games and see how well we do in the second game. I want to see Stamkos put up a point or even a goal here. He's the first shot. Let's go to goals. And in the first period. First period, we're 1-1, okay. We have Bozak and Shea Weber. Second period, it's 2-2, okay. So we have Stamkos and Philip Deneau. Deneau? I don't know how to say his name. But 2-2 game here, going into the third period. Let's go sim the third period. And we won 4-3, cool. So Colin Greening and Joffrey Lupul put up points, same with Philip. We won 4-3. Now we're leading 2-0 here against Montreal in the first series. Wow. That's pretty crazy. But let's go 3 stars, check this out. So it looks like Philip Deneau had 2 goals, Joffrey Lupul 1-1, and Shea Weber 1-1. Okay, pretty cool game there. But let's go move on to the next game and see if we can go and put up 3 wins in a row against Montreal. Though we haven't won against them all season, suddenly win 2 games in a row. So it's pretty crazy. But it's in the third game and see how well we do. Come on, we can take this W here. Good for this slow simming. Actually, the simming this year is pretty slow. But I don't know how it was last year because I barely played franchise or GM mode. But let's go sim this third game of the series. We're finally in Toronto though, home ice advantage. Let's see, put this advantage to our advantage, I guess. But first period, 2-0 here. That's not good. Galchenyuk and Pacioretty. Second period, 4-1. We're getting killed here. Komarov, but Radulov and Plekanec scored. So going into the third period, maybe we can make a comeback. I don't know. We'd score 4 goals in order to get a lead in this game. But come on, we can do it. And we do nothing. Okay, we lose 4-1 in the third game. Now it's a 2-1 series here in Montreal. Stamkos put up no points. which is pretty obvious. But let's go move on. The 4th game of the series. We better not drop 2 in a row, though. Especially in home, too. We're best at home, as you saw our win-loss ratio in the playoff, or in the regular season. But let's move on to the 4th game and see if we can take a W here in Toronto, though. The ACC, we gotta take a W here and make it a 3-1 series against Montreal. And of course, Stamkos is the first shot every game for us. But let's sim the first period and see how well we do. First period, 3-1, cool. Stamkos, Bozak, and JVR against Gallagher. Second period, 3-1 still. Let's move on to the third period and see how well we do. Come on. 6-3. Oh my good god. Look at this. Andrew Shaw, Brendan Gallagher, Philip Deneau, Torrey Mitchell, and Komarov, the empty netter. We suck. My god. We gave up. What is it? We gave up. Let's see. A 2-goal lead. They scored 5 in the third. That is brutal. Our team sucks. Damn. So it's a 2-2 series here. They won. We won the first 2 games. Montreal won this next set of games in Toronto. So let's move back into Montreal. And let's not choke again. We lost a 4-1 lead against Boston in the game 7. So we better not choke anything here. Come on, we gotta win in Montreal. We've done it before. We won 2 games previously in Montreal. At least in this playoff series. Let's move on and hopefully get some goals in this first period. 1-0 Montreal, though. Damn. Patch ready. Let's go on the second period. Second period, 2-0 now. Andrew Shaw. Okay, so Montreal put up 5 goals in the third. I think we can do the same. Hopefully we can. But let's go and sim this third period. Come on. And we do nothing. We get scored on 3 times. So Plekanec, Galchenyuk, and Terry scored to make it 5-0. And we get shut out in the 4th. Or no, what is it? Now they're winning 3-2, so it's the 5th game of the series. Get shut out, 5-0. It's not looking good for us. Our back is against the wall here. We need to go and take the next game to stay alive. Come on. We're back in Toronto. We suck. We've dropped 3 games in a row against Montreal. That is not good. Come on, we can do this. Okay, let's sim this game. We're in Toronto. We can do it, though. Come on. Stamkos' first shot on goal again. Let's go do it. Come on. First period. And it's 2-1. Okay, good. Colin Greening and Stamkos. Stamkos, you need to step up and hopefully take over this game against Carey Price and the Montreal Canadiens. But Plekanec had the one for Montreal. Second period, 4-1. There we go. Austin Matthews back in the game and Nazem Kadri. So pretty good season. Or like, I think he had a good season, Austin Matthews. But maybe let's move on to the third period. We gotta hold this lead. Last time I saw Toronto have a 4-1 lead in a game and possibly series-ending game. They blew it in the third period. And James Reimer had a terrible game at the end. But come on, we can't pull a Toronto versus Boston and drop a 4-1 lead in the third. Come on, let's do it. And we win 5-2. Cool. Okay, so Connor Carrick had the empty netter, but Terry had a goal against Frederick Anderson to make it a 5-2 game here in the last, or at least potential last game of the series. But should we look at the stats? We'll go with 30 stars though. Steven Stamkos, #1 star with 1 goal and 2 assists. Freddie Anderson had a good game, 942 save percentage, 2 goals against, with 33 saves. And Colin Greening 1-1 on the playoffs. Let's get some stats quickly right before we get back into this last game of the series. We took Game 6, and now we're moving on to Game 7 against Montreal. This is big though. This is big. But Toronto versus Montreal series would be a dream for anybody, at least around that area. That'd be pretty cool to see. But let's go some stats, see how well Stamkos is doing in the playoffs. We need him to step up in Game 7 and take over this game like Phil did for the Leafs in 2013, though. He had a great playoff series there, Philip Kessa. But where did Austin Matthews finish, though? 40 points in 49 games. So why do we not put him out there earlier? Come on. It sucks so bad. But Austin Matthews, he's so good in this game, my God. But let's check out some lines. I want to make some line changes. Hopefully we can make some good line changes and see how we're doing. But go to the playoff tree right now. We're tied 3-3 against Montreal, but let's see how well Tampa Bay did. 4-1 against Ottawa. Wow. So Ottawa, they take the W here against Tampa Bay 4-1, and they're moving on to the Eastern semis. But oh god, we gotta win this series though. Go play against Ottawa. But can you look at playoff stats? I think there's playoff stats in here. I'm just clicking on the wrong thing. So right now we're 3-3 on the season, at least the playoffs. Right now, let's go to player stats. See how well Stamkos is doing. So Stammer 7 points, or not Stammer. That's Morgan Riley 7 points in 6 games. Then we have Stamkos 6 points in 6 games. Kadri 4 points in 6 games. Austin Matthews 4 in 6. So Austin Matthews is just killing it right now with Stamkos. But let's go check out the lines quickly. See how well they're doing. Hopefully we can make some line changes. Maybe. I really don't know if we really need to though. Do we really need to make any line changes? I don't really do. We played very well in the regular season and the playoffs so far. these lines. Because Austin Matthews, the new second line center. Yeah, we're good. Okay, we don't need to make any line changes, but Frederik Andersen, he needs to step up here. Had the game of his life, 89 overall. He's been playing well the entire season so far. Let's just hope he has one last good game left in the gas in order to go and move us on to the Eastern Conference, or at least the Eastern semis. But let's go and move on to Game 7 here. We got to take this W here in Montreal. I know it's going to be a hard game to win because we are in Montreal, but I mean, it's possible. We did win 2 games already in Montreal, so we could easily take one back in Montreal. But let's go move on to the last game of the series and see how well we're doing. Come on. Big game here. We got to take this game. We don't want to lose another Game 7 in a row. 2 series in a row. We went to the playoffs. I don't want to lose another Game 7. Let's go move on to goals and see his first period. First period of Game 7. We're losing 1-0. Not what we want. So Brendan Gallagher puts up a goal against Freddie Andersen. Not really looking too good right now for the Leafs. Come on. Second period. 1-0. Okay, so we got to sim this period very slowly, I guess. I don't know. So moving on to the third period, I know our back's against the wall. We're losing 1-0, but we can easily go and take over this game and score a few goals in a row. Obviously led by Steven Stamkos and maybe Austin Matthews. I really don't know, but let's go and move on to this third period and see how well we're doing. Come on. Gotta do something here. So let's go and continue the simulation. We gotta take this W here in Game 7. Oh, they scored another one. No, McCarron. Okay, 2-0 game here. 50 minutes left. Come on, do something here. Get a power play. Another one. Okay, good. Okay, Joffrey Loop will put up one. Now it's a 1-goal lead here for Montreal. Heading into the last minutes of the third. Come on, power play, kill it. No. Volcanic put up one. 3-1 game. It's dying seconds. We put up another one. 3-2. Okay, cool. JVR. And 3-3. We tied this one up. Okay, gotta stop this one. 3-3 game here. We just tied it up. We need to go and take this game in overtime. Or maybe even potentially right now. Austin Matthews, you're a god. Joffrey Lupul played very well so far. JVR, you're amazing. Come on, Freddie. Be clutch. Come on, we need our offense. Step up. Do something. Maybe Stamkos can step up and score the game-winning goal. And maybe a series-winning goal. I don't know. Let's increase the simulation. Come on, do something. I'm moving to overtime. Okay, overtime. Guys, step up. Offense, we need you to show up. Stamkos, we need you to show up. Austin Matthews playing very well. Come on, somebody step up, though. Maybe even Morgan Riley. I really don't know, but we got to get a power play, maybe, and score on it in overtime. We were actually really good in overtime in the regular season. Got to step it up and get our first overtime W in this playoff series. So let's go and increase this. Start the simulation. Come on, get a goal here. Somebody step up. Stamkos, please step up. 3-3 game here. 50 minutes left. 14. Come on, put some shots up. Come on. 11 minutes left. 10 minutes left. Nobody doing anything. Come on, put up a goal here. Somebody, please. 5 minutes left, 3 minutes, 4 minutes left, 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left. Goalie's playing very well. And now we're moving on to the second overtime. So second overtime, Carey Price, a very tough nut to crack, but I mean, we could do it though. We can easily do it. So our shots are in our favor, 49 to I believe 36. Come on. Offense, we need you to show up. Let's go all events. Should we go all events? We probably could actually. Let's do this. So let's go and increase the simulation and start off the second overtime period in Game 7 between Montreal and Toronto here in Montreal. Come on. Offense, step up. Please do something. And we score. Yes. Morgan Riley, I told you to step up. And we moving on to the Eastern Conference semis. So cool. You win against Montreal. We finally don't choke on Game 7. I gotta check out this stat line. I'm sorry. My God. That was a good game. Let's check this out though. So Bozak, I don't even have any points, but let's start by points. Who's our overtime hero? Obviously Morgan Riley with 1 goal in overtime, but Joffrey Lupul 2 points. He's playing very well this season. Austin Matthews 2 points. Morgan Riley 2 points. Peter Holland with 1 point. And Stamkos with an assist in that game. So Stammer, man, his presence is so big for this franchise. He is so good. But goalies, let's just go and recognize the goalie, the man, the myth, the legend, Freddie Andersen. 35 saves, 921 save percentage. He had a great game for us, kept us in the game consistently with his good saves. But let's go move on to the next series in the playoffs against Ottawa. Let's go check this out though. Man, that was a great series though. We won it in Game 7. We passed our first owner goal here for the playoffs. So 30K we add to our available funds, which doesn't really matter too much. But now we're moving on to the next series against Ottawa. Hey, check out some stats though. Come on. We were so good in that series though. We were clutch for once. I can't believe it, but obviously Obviously, Ottawa won against Tampa Bay 4-1. We won 4-3 against Montreal. Washington won 4-2 against Detroit. Philadelphia won 4-1 against the Islanders. And it looks like the Oilers and Anaheim taking it to 7 games too, 3-3 series there. Same with Chicago and Nashville. And then the Blues won against the Jets, and the Dallas Stars won against the Sharks. Okay. So going into the next playoff series here, Morgan Rielly leads us in points with 9 points. Overtime hero, he's the best though, high elite. 90 overall Morgan Rielly, he is so good in this game. But next up is Stammer with 7 points in 7 games. Austin Matthews 6 points in 7 games, so he's doing very well. And we have Leo Conrad with 5 points, and Joffrey Lupul with 5. Okay, team just killing it right now. But let's move on to goalies. So Freddie Anderson though, he only goalie to play for us right now. A 901 save percentage, so he's not doing the greatest actually. He's actually being pretty bad, but I mean 4-3 right now, 3.28 goals against average. Not the greatest in the playoffs so far, but I mean he stepped up in Game 7, played very well for us, and that's all that matters for me at least. So let's go and move on to the next series and see how well Ottawa's doing. Actually, let's do that first. Go to team stats. Actually, we don't really need to go to team stats. We'll go to player stats. See who's doing well for Ottawa. Who's actually playing well for them though. I didn't think they'd actually win against Tampa Bay, but I'll go with Ottawa, the Senators. Where are they at? There they are. So division rival Ottawa, Bobby Ryan 5 points in 5 games, 2 goals, 3 assists. Cody Ceci 4 points in 5 games. Then we have Chris Kelly 4 points. Kyle Turris is 4. Brassard with 4. Dion Phaneuf with 4 points. I forgot about Dion Phaneuf on this team though. Top 4 defenseman. He's not too bad, I guess, but not captain worthy for sure. But let's go. They have Yager too. How'd they get Yager? So, man, I didn't even realize they had Jaromir Yager on their team. But he's actually not doing that bad for them too. Let's switch to go Senators again. Didn't think they had Yager. What the heck? It's messed up. But they do have Jaromir Yager 4 points in 5 games, no goals yet. So they have the GOAT, Jaromir Yager. Man, I don't want him to score on our team. He is so good in this game. I don't want him to win, but I mean, team's doing very well. Probably check out what happens. Let's going on with the playoff tree. Actually, we'll do that first. So it looks like right now for the Western Conference semis, we do have looks like Dallas facing off against Anaheim or the Oilers. And we do have the St. Louis Blues facing either Chicago or Nashville. But over in the Eastern Conference, we do have the Islanders taking on, I believe, the Washington Capitals, and we do have the Senators taking on the Leafs in the Eastern semis. So not too bad of a series is there with the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, but now we made it to the next round. I can't believe we actually made it to round 2 of the playoffs, but we'll send a day and see if we can go and check out this playoff series though. There we go, against Ottawa. Obviously, they had one more game against us when it comes to W's, but season series, I want to see this though. How many games we won against Ottawa this year? I doubt we won too many. Go back and see how well we did. So against Ottawa, where are we at? We won one thing against Ottawa last game. Okay, shut them out. Then we lost 3-1. Okay, so 1-1 series there. And then where's the next game? Here. It's 1-1 so far. And I think that's it. Yeah, it's only a 1-1 series against us and Ottawa. So either team could probably take this one actually. Both teams equally as good. But I'm really worried about Jaromir Yager though. Jaromir is so good in this game, but they do have home ice advantage to start off the series. But let's go and sim game 1 of the Eastern semis against Toronto and Ottawa though. We got to step up here. Stamkos, his offense needs to come and pick it up a bit, but let's go to goals into the first period of this game. So no goals for each side. Second period, all 1-0 Ottawa with Mathot. So 1-0 here going into the third. We need to go make a comeback here. Come on, we can do it. And it's a 2-1 series. Okay, so Stamkos got a goal, and Matt Hoffman got a goal, but they won 2-1. Now it's a 1-0 series for Ottawa here in this game. But 3 stars. I'll check this out quickly. Craig Anderson played pretty well. 962. I had to go take a second look at that one. 962 for Craig Anderson. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good for him. But now let's move on to the second game of the series. But obviously, probably wouldn't take game 1 in Ottawa anyway, because they're a pretty good team this year. They were top 5 in the NHL. So, I mean, they're a good team, though. You can't disrespect Ottawa. They're a good team. But second game of the Eastern semis, we got to take this W, though. At least 1 in Ottawa. That's what good teams do. They take W's on the road. But first period, 2-0 Ottawa. Brassard and Bobby Ryan. Not good. Second period, 1 game. Okay, we got 1 goal with Leo Conrad. Now heading to the third. Back against the wall once again. Our offense not really doing too well right now. We need Frederik Andersen to step up, too, though. He's not been doing really well at all in the playoffs. But let's go move on to the third period and hopefully take this W. Come on. 4-1. Damn it. Derek Brassard, 2 goals in the third. And we lost this one by a score of 4-1. So Derek Brassard, I think he's the first star, obviously. A hat trick against the Leafs. That's not good. And Craig Anderson, another good night. 962 again. My God, he's a good goalie. But now we're losing 2-0 against Ottawa in this series. We're probably going to get swept, to be honest with you, at this point. But now we're heading to Toronto, the ACC. We can probably take a few W's here, though, at least. I mean, you're expected to lose the first 2 games just by tradition. But let's go into some Game 3 of the Eastern Semis. We got to take one in Toronto, though. At least both of them, actually. Let's go into this first period. First period, 2-0. Okay, we have Joffrey Lupul and Milan McCulloch. There you go. Now, second period, another goal. Okay, we have Austin Matthews. 3-0 now. Now, heading to the third. Don't choke here. Come on. You know, it's 5-0. Cool. So, JVR and McCulloch again for his second goal of the night. Makes it 5-0 and a 2-1 series here in this Eastern Semis. But 3 stars. McCulloch, Freddie Anderson with a shutout here, 25 saves. And JVR with 1-1. Okay. So Stamkos not really doing too much right now, I guess. But, I mean, I don't know. He's pretty good, though. He's actually setting up most of the plays, probably on offense. But now 2-1 series here, going to at least staying in Toronto now. We gotta take another W to tie us one up at 2 apiece, so we cannot lose one in Toronto and be down 3-1. It'd be terrible if we were, but now we're still in Toronto. Come on, let's take Game 4 of the series. Come on, first period, 1-1. Okay, so we have Stamkos stepping up and Zach Smith. Now second period, 2-1. There you go, Milan McCulloch once again. He's a stud in this playoffs. But third period, come on, don't choke here. And we win 3-1. Cool. So Stamkos puts up an empty netter, and now he has 2 goals in this game, and that makes it a 2-2 series here in the Eastern Semis. But 3 stars. McCulloch with 1 goal and 2 assists. Freddie Anderson with a great game with 969, I believe. And Steven Stamkos with 2 goals and 0 assists. I can't really see right now because I don't have the contacts in, but let's go move on to Game 5 of the series. Obviously a 2-2 series here against Ottawa, but we gotta take at least Game 5 against Ottawa, though. We could actually do it, though. Our team's good. We can do it. Let's move on to Ottawa and see if we can take Game 5, though. We gotta beat Dion Phaneuf, though. We gotta beat him. If we lose to Dion Phaneuf, it sucks so bad. But first period, it's a 2-1 game. Okay, so Bobby Ryan and Matt Hoffman against Morgan Rielly, a playoff hero in Game 7 last series. Second period, 4-3 there. There you go. So JVR 2 goals and Stamkos with another one. Cool. So Stamkos 1 goal, JVR 2, and Curtis Lazar with another one to make it 4-3 here. Heading to the third period, we do have more shots. We are shooting like 33 to 12 or 33 to 13. Wow, we're killing them right now in shots. But come on, we need Freddie Anderson to step up, though. Don't let too many goals in. We have Andrew Hammond in too, which is kind of weird. Maybe it's kind of messed up. But anyway, third period. Come on, take this W here in Ottawa. Third period, 6-3. Cool. So Joffrey Lupul and Leo Komarov add 2 onto this tally and make it 6-3, and a 3-2 lead for us in the Eastern Semis. Let's go to 3 stars. Morgan Rielly 1 goal and 3 assists. JVR 2 goals, 1 assist, and Stamkos 1 goal and 2 assists in the series or on the game. But most importantly, we take Game 5 of the series and make it 3-2 here against Ottawa. So now we're heading back to Toronto. We have the opportunity to take this series 4-2 here against Ottawa. I can't believe it. Come on, we gotta take this W here and don't force overtime or force Game 7 though, like last time. Come on, we can take Game 6 of the series and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go do this. First period, 0-0 game. Second period, with 2 goals. Okay, cool. Morgan Rielly and JVR put up 2. And we're heading to the third. The right route shooting him 25-19. Let's go continue this route here we're just killing them right now in shots. Let's go and take this third period. Come on, third period. And we're moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Cool. Rielly and Komarov put up 2 and make it 4-0. A shutout in Game 6 by Frederik Andersen. And we won the series. Cool. So back-to-back series wins for the Leafs. And moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. But Morgan Rielly, number 1 star here. 2 goals, 1 assist. Freddie Anderson with a shutout with 25 saves. And JVR 1 goal and 1 assist in the series on the game. So pretty cool. Actually, JVR is doing very well right now. So now we're moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Man, I didn't think we'd actually do this. But Austin Matthews is doing so well in the playoffs. I can't believe it. And even Milan McCulloch, though, he's so good in this game right now. But right now, 91 offense, 91 defense, and 89 goalie. We're doing well. So we won against Ottawa. Looks like no one else did anything yet. But let's go move on to some stats and see how well our team did in that series. So Stamkos, let's see. Player stats. I think Morgan Rielly still leads us. And he does. 18 points in 14 games, or 13 games, sorry, for Morgan Rielly. Stamkos 17 points in 13 games for him. JVR 13 and 10. Komarov 10 and 10, or 10 and 13. Milan McCulloch 10 points in 13 games. Austin Matthews 10 and 13. Not too bad. Let's see goals though. So goals, Stamkos leads us with 7 assists. Morgan Rielly 14, and obviously points, Morgan Rielly 18. So we're killing it when it comes to all this kind of stuff. Let's see plus minus. So Morgan Rielly 13, Roman Polak with 10, Joffrey Lupul with 7, and Stamkos with 7. So barely any players under, I guess. Well, actually, there's actually a lot of players. Never mind. But we actually have some players over 1 when it comes to plus minus, which is pretty rare for the Leafs. But let's see goalies though for us. Goalies on here. So Frederik Andersen 8-5 right now when it comes to wins and losses. He has a .917 save percentage, so it went up a bit, I guess, from last series. And his goals against average is a 2.55, so not too bad, I guess, for Frederik Andersen. He did get us that shutout last game, so I'm liking that. But let's move on to the playoff tree and see who we're facing in the Eastern Conference Finals. So it looks like we're facing the winner of Washington and Philadelphia. The Oilers are winning 3-2 against Dallas. Wow. And it looks like Nashville is facing, or at least might be winning against the St. Louis Blues 3-2. So come on, I'm actually hoping we face maybe Philadelphia. They seem to be the easier team, I guess. But anyway, let's go and sim a few days and see who we're taking on in the Eastern Conference Finals, though. Let's go do this. Sim a day. Sim a days we have to sim, though. Sim another day. And it looks like the Oilers won 4-2 against Dallas and are moving on to the Western Conference Finals. 3-3 game against St. Louis and Nashville, and a 3-3 game against the Capitals and the Flyers. It's another day. Okay, playoff run's done for that. And it looks like it's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Washington Capitals in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Oilers taking on the St. Louis Blues in the West. So 2 Canadian teams still remain out of 4. That's pretty good chances for Canada to win a cup, 50%. But let's go and move on to this playoff series against Washington, though. Actually, we should probably check out their stats before we do this, though. Probably do that. I think Washington's doing very well right now, though. They do have Ovechkin, which really sucks, though. Ovechkin, Holtby, Backstrom, they have a good team over there in Washington, but we'll go to Ace player stats first to check them out. I think Ovechkin leads in the goals, obviously, because he's like the best player in the NHL right now, at least in this GM mode. But we'll go to the Washington Capitals. Where are they at? There they are, right beside us. So Backstrom, 17 points in 13 games. They have Ovechkin 17 and 13. 13 goals in 13 games, though. Wow. Ushi 10 points in 12 games. Kuznetsov 11 points in 13 games. So I forgot they have Kuznetsov and TJ Oshie, though. Their team is so stacked. Damn, we might get killed. I don't know, but I mean, let's see how well Holtby's doing, though. It all depends on that. So Holtby is better than Frederik Andersen, 918. So he's 0.001 per save percentage better than when it comes to Freddie Andersen. And I think the same win-loss ratio too, in 2.31. So he's got a better goals against average, but I mean, Holtby and Frederik Andersen not that far off when it comes to stats. Honestly, we have Morgan Rielly, the best player on our team so far in the playoff run, which is pretty surprising. But let's move on to game 1 here against Washington. We actually have home ice advantage for one, which is pretty weird. But let's go start off game 1 in Toronto. We better take this W here. We gotta win the game 1. It sets the tone for the series if you win it. But I think Ottawa did win game 1 last series, and we still won the series. But let's go into the first period and see how well we do. First period. They're up 3-0 here. Tom Wilson, Kuznetsov, and Ovechkin. Damn it. Second period, 4-1. Okay, we have Johansson and JVR. Third period, we're probably going to lose this one, but come on, make a rally here. 3 goals is not that hard to get. Third period, they win 4-1. Damn it. So Washington wins 1-0 here against, or has 1-0 edge so far in this series, but 3 stars, I'm guessing Ovechkin's number 1. He's not okay, Kuznetsov, 1 goal, 2 assists. Holtby, a .962 save percentage, just like Craig Anderson last series, but I mean, didn't matter much. And Enroth is starting. What the heck? Why is Jonas Enroth starting? Unless he's put in, but what? Doesn't make any sense. They better not have switched the lines on me. They better not have. Oh my good god. I want to check out these lines, though. They better not have put Jonas Enroth in. Unless maybe Frederik Andersen got injured. I really don't know. Let's check out the lines, see where this is going. But let's go to goalies. Yeah, Anderson's still in there. It's kind of weird they started Enroth, but I mean, we lost game 1, still doesn't really matter too much. And now we're down 1-0 here in the series against the Washington Capitals. Let's go sim game 2 though in Toronto. Got to game 2, at least 1 game in Toronto though. Game 1, like at least 1 game out of 2 here in Toronto. But sim game 2, you gotta win this one. Just like every other game, you gotta win at least every game here in the playoffs here. But let's go check this. So first period, no 0-0 game. Second period, 2-1. Okay, we're leading 2-1. Connor Carrick and Steven Stamkos against Johansson. The third period, though, we gotta win this one. Frederik Andersen's finally starting, but come on, hold on to his lead here. Third period, 3-1. Cool, he won this with Austin Matthews, the empty net goal. Cool. So we took game 2. Now it's a 1-1 series here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go to 3 stars. So Braden Holtby, number 1, Frederick Anderson, number 2, and Austin Matthews, a 1-1 for 3rd star. So both goalies playing very well, though. Damn, it's cool to see. But let's continue this off and see how well we do in the first game in Washington, though. It's a 1-1 series here heading to Washington. Gotta limit Ovechkin, though. I'm glad that we shut Ovechkin out in points, or at least goals. But let's sim game 3 of the series. We gotta take this one, though. I mean, they took the first game in Toronto. Let's go and take the first game in Washington. First period, 2-0 your Leafs early. Connor Carrick stepping up again, and Morgan Rielly, our points leader. Cool. Second period, damn it, 2-1. So they put up one with Kuznetsov. But heading to the third period, we do have the. Wait, do we have the edge? I think we do. Yeah, they only have 10 shots in the game. What the heck? We have 19. So a very low shooting game, I guess. But let's head to the third period and take this one. Hold on to this lead. Third period. And we win 5-2. Cool. So Komarov, Bozak, and Brooks Lake put up his first point, I think. And Johansson. Okay, so we win 5-2. And now we're leading 2-1 here in the series against Washington. Now 3 stars. Morgan Rielly, number 1 with 1 and 2. Tyler Bozak, 2nd star. And Brooks Lake, 3rd star with 1 goal. Cool. So let's move on to game 4 of the series. Let's go and take game 4 while we're at it, too. Take the second game in Washington, but head to game 4 and take this one. Their team actually doing very well, though. I could do a scouting report first, so it gets it out of the way. Go to US for 6 weeks. There we go. So game 4 of the series. Come on, we can take game 4 though easily. We took the last game in Washington. Let's go take the game 4 though. So first period, 0-0 game. Second period, damn it, 1-0 Washington though. Daniel Winnick, former Leaf too. Sucks, but let's go and take the third period though. Come on, we're losing in shots, but it doesn't really matter too much. Third period. Oh, they win 3-1. Damn it. So it looks like Malone and Baxter put up 2 goals, and Austin Matthews put up 1 to make it 3-1 Washington, and ties up the series at 2 apiece. So we see 3 stars. So Frederick Anderson, though, number 1 star though, even though we got the L. Daniel Winnick 2nd, and Braden Holtby 3rd. So goalies, this is controlling the series by a lot though for the goalies. So heading to game 5, I believe, of the series. It's 2-2 series here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's go to game 5 though. We gotta do that at least. So we're heading back to Toronto. We did well in Toronto last time though. We took the second game in Toronto this series. But let's go to goals. It's in this first period. 1-1 game. Okay, we have Matthews and Kuznetsov. Second period, no goals. Let's take this game though. 5th game of the series. Third period, and we win 3-1. Cool. So we have Morgan Rielly and Matt Martin and make it a 3-1 win for us. But now we're leading 3-2 in the series, which is most important. But 3 stars. Frederick Anderson number 1, Morgan Rielly number 2, and Matt Martin number 3. Cool. So it looks like Frederick Anderson 972 save percentage, pretty good for us. But let's go move on to this last game of the series. We have the potential to move on to the Stanley Cup Finals here, which is pretty surprising for the Leafs. But let's sim this last game here in Washington. We're going back to Washington. Let's go and take this game 6. We took last game 6 against Ottawa. Let's go in game 6 of this series and move on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in so many years. Let's go do this. First period. Winning 3-2, damn it, for Washington. 2 goals for Ryoshi, 1 for Ovechkin, and 1 for Holland and Jared Cowan. Now, second period, 3-3. Okay, we tied it up. Nazem Kadri. Now, third period, we can move on to the Stanley Cup Finals here. Let's do it while we got the time. Third period, and we win 6-4. We're moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. The first time in so many years. Brooks Lake, Tyler Bozak, JVR, you're all beauties. And Alex Ovechkin, you're a good player, but so long, sucker. We're moving on to the Stanley Cup Finals. 3 stars. Ovechkin number 1 with 2 goals and 1 assist. Oshie number 2 with 2 goals and 1 assist. And Bozak at number 3 with 1 goal and 2 assists. So we killed this series. We win another game 6 and move on to another series. Now let's see who we're facing though. It could be against the Oilers though. Imagine if it's the Oilers. Let's check this out. So 3-2 is the edge right now for St. Louis against the Oilers, but let's check out some series, I guess. No, we'll go sim the one last day. And then we'll get you to the points and all that kind of stuff. So it's a big day and see who's moving on. Oilers or Blues. 3-3 series here, game 7. Actually, I can't sim it, damn it. Let's go and see who we're facing off. Oilers or Blues. Nothing yet, okay. Oilers or Blues. It's over. We're facing the St. Louis Blues in the Stanley Cup Finals. I don't want it to be an all-Canadian Stanley Cup Finals, but I guess not. So, Oilers losing 7 against the Blues, but I mean, still good teams facing off in the Stanley Cup Finals. Who thought the Leafs would move on to the Stanley Cup Finals with Matthews and Stamkos? But let's go check out some player stats and see how well we're doing in this playoffs, though. We're doing it very well, though. That's all I know. So Stamkos, 23 points in 19 games for the Leafs. Morgan Rielly, 22 points in 19. Matthews, 16 and 19. Let's check out some goals, though. So goals, it looks like Stamkos leads up with 8. Same with JVR, though, 8 goals, too. But assists, Morgan Rielly is 16, and Stamkos is 15. Cool. So let's go to some goalie stats, though. Goalies, let's see these. So Frederik Andersen looks like 919 save percentage, not the greatest, I guess, but I mean it's decent. 12 and 7 is his record, and at 2.54 goals against average, not the greatest, but let's go check out who we're facing off against, which is the St. Louis Blues. So St. Louis, Jake Allen, though, 12 and 6, 1.99 goals against average. He's killing it in the playoffs, but let's check out his save percentage, 935. So he's keeping them in the games, though. Damn. Let's check out their player stats, though, first. Their skaters. So all skaters, they lost David Backes, but it doesn't matter. It's Vladimir Tarasenko, 20 points in 20 games. Paul Stastny, 16 points in 20 games. Alex Steen, 14 and 20. David Perron, 13 and 20. And Brodziak, 10 and 20. Okay. So they have a good team there. They have Robbie Fabbri. They do have Vladimir Tarasenko and Paul Stastny. So, man, hopefully we can take this game here and win the Stanley Cup for the first time since 1967, I believe. So, let's go and send this first game of the series. Actually, let's look at the playoff tree first. Let's see what this looks like. To show it off. So, let's check out our recap what happened so far in the Stanley Cup Finals for us. So we obviously went 7 games against Montreal. We won Game 7 and moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then we went and defeated the Ottawa Senators in 6 games to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we went and won against the Washington Capitals to move on to the Stanley Cup Finals in a 6-game series. But let's see the Blues, though. They won 4-2 against Winnipeg. They won 4-3 in Game 7 against Nashville. They won Game 7 against the Oilers. So they played more games with us this series, but or did they? I think they tied us. So now St. Louis and Toronto Stanley Cup Finals. Nobody thought that would happen, but I mean, expect the unexpected when it comes to the playoffs. So you never know what's gonna happen. But let's go and sim this first game here in St. Louis because they had a better record than us last season, or at least this season, and see how well we're doing. So let's go and sim this first game against St. Louis. Come on, let's go and take Game 1 here in St. Louis. We can do it. So let's go and check this out. First period, we're winning 4-1. Damn, Colin Greening, JVR. Colin Greening again, and Austin Matthews against Tarasenko. So, Greening 2 goals already early against Jake Allen, but second period, 4-2. Okay, so Tarasenko's second goal of the night. Now third period, come on. 4-4, they tie it up. So Tarasenko, a hat-trick, and Ryan Reeves. So moving on to overtime. Let's go and win this first game of the series. Overtime. Nobody, okay. So overtime 2. And they win it 5-4. So Tarasenko, 4 goals in the game, and that makes it 1-0 series for St. Louis in the first game. So Tarasenko, obviously 4 goals, here's your first star. Colin Greening, 2 goals. And Alex Steen, 2 assists for your third. So let's move on to this game 2 of this series. Now we're losing 1-0 here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Not what I wanted to be, but I mean, come on, we can always make a comeback here. We always lose the first game of the series, and we always win the series eventually. But let's go some game 2 here, still in St. Louis. Come on, let's take this W. Don't take a major L here in game 2. First period, 2-1, okay. Loophole and Kadri against Fabbri. Second period, 3-2, okay, so we have Matthews and Tarasenko. Third period, don't choke this here. And we win 5-2, okay, we have Brooks Lake and Peter Holland. Cap it off, and we don't take a major L in Game 2. So it's a 1-1 series here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Austin Matthews, your first star, 1 goal and 2 assists. Joffrey Lupul, 1-1. And Freddie Anderson, 24 saves for a 923 save percentage on the night. So pretty good game for him. And we're finally making a 1-1 series in the Stanley Cup Finals. I didn't think we'd actually make it this far, but 1-1 here against St. Louis. We're going to Toronto. Let's go take 2 games in a row to make it a 3-1 series. Come on. Let's go sim Game 3 of this series. The Stanley Cup Finals. I can't believe I'm saying Stanley Cup Finals, but first period, 2-0 here for St. Louis. Tarasenko and Upshaw. Second period, 3 goals. Okay, so 3-0 here for St. Louis. Ryan Reeves and Frederik Andersen. Come on, make a comeback here. Third period, oh, we make it close 4-2, but Robbie Fabbri caps it off with the empty net. But JVR and Connor Kirk scored to make it a close game, I guess, 4-2. So now it's a 2-2 series here against St. Louis. Let's check this out though first. So no, 2-1 series, sorry. But Ville Husso, he started for the Blues. Wow, 32 saves, did a good game. But Scotty Epshall 1-1 and Ryan Reeves 1-0. Okay, so we're losing 2-1 here against the series in St. Louis. But I mean, come on, we could always do something here to come back. So we're still in Toronto here. We're losing 2-1. We got to make this a game here. Tie this one up to 2 apiece. Come on. We need Matthews to step up again. We need Stamkos to step up again. First period, 1-1 game here. We have Joffrey Lupul and, what is that? Ferraro, okay. Landon Ferraro is on the team. I forgot about that. Second period. 2-1 here for the Blues. Jaden Schwartz. Now third period. Come on. Don't make us in a hole. 3-1. Third period. And they win it 2-1. Damn it. So we lose game, what is it, game 4? And now we're down 3-1 here in the series in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Blues. But Ville Husso started back-to-back games. He's having a great playoffs. 958 save percentage. He's killing it here. But Jaden Schwartz 1-0. And Freddie Anderson 913 save percentage. Not as good as Ville Husso. So Husso comes out of nowhere here and is making it tough for us to score in this series. It sucks, but I mean, I don't know. Stars are made in the Stanley Cup Finals. That's all I know. So we're heading to game 6 here, I think. No, not game 6. Game 5 here. We're down 3-1 against the St. Louis Blues. We need to take this game. Our backs are against the wall here. If we lose this one, we're losing the Stanley Cup Finals, which sucks. But game 5 here. Come on, take this W. Don't lose this one. Check this out. First period. 2-0 here for St. Louis. Not good early. Gagliardi and Perron. Second period. 2-0 here, heading to the third. We're losing 2-0 here early in this game. Or at least heading to the third period. So 27 shots for them and 11 for us. So our offense sucks right now. We're not doing well at all. Let's go and send this third period though. Come on. We got hope here. That's all we got at this point is just hope. Come on. Take this game. Come on. Score some goals here. Tie it up at 2. Come on. Let's increase the simming. By 8. Come on. Score. There we go. Oh no. It's 3-0 here for Terra. Damn it, 3-0 here. Come on, power play. Kill this power play. 5-on-3. We can do it. And we are... Oh, they score another one. 4-0. God damn it, we're going to lose. 5-0 now. Oh my god, we're getting killed here. And it looks like we're going to lose the Stanley Cup Finals to the St. Louis Blues. So congratulations to St. Louis. We choked majorly. We got shut out in Game 5. And we didn't deserve it, though. Come on. We were terrible here in this game. But 3 stars. Congratulations to the St. Louis Blues who won the Stanley Cup Finals. But Laterra, 2 goals, 1 assist. And Ville Husso, he is so good in this game right now. Holy crap. Ville Husso, a shutout to win the Stanley Cup Finals. But Jay Boulemister, 1-0. 4 goals and assists. But it was a good series. We lost 4-1, which sucks. But I mean, I don't know how we even made to the Stanley Cup Finals with Stamkos. But anyway, I guess I'll quickly go and check out what ended off stats for us in this playoff series, because we played very well, though. It sucks we lost, but I mean, come on, we're the Leafs. We're used to losing here in the Stanley Cups, or at least losing games at all, but didn't think we'd actually make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, but oh well. Let's move on to player stats. So player stats, so Morgan Rielly killed it for us, 26 points in 24 games for us. Stamkos 25 and 24, 8 goals, 17 assists for him. Matthews 21 points in 24 games, JVR 18 and 21. Let's just go down here, just get all the stats in here. There we go. Let's move on to goalies. So goalies, Frederik Andersen had, I guess, a decent playoff series. He kind of sucked, but, I mean, I don't know. Our offense kind of just let him down, though. We barely had any shots at all against St. Louis in this series, but 9-11 is a save percentage, and a 2.68, I think? I can't really read right now, but 2.68 goals against average for Frederik Andersen, and a 13-10 record for him in the playoffs. So, I mean, we were okay, but let's go check out the St. Louis Blues. They just killed it. They won the Stanley Cup somehow. But let's go on to St. Louis and see their stats. So St. Louis, Tarasenko 26 points in 25 games. Stastny 20 points in 25. Steen 60 in 25, and so on and so forth. Go down here, get all the stats in there. Let's go check out the goalies, though. Ville Husso, he is amazing, though. He is like... My god, he's just great, though. Jake Allen, obviously, he kind of struggled against us. Even though he's a 933 save percentage, he just kind of struggled against us. But then all of a sudden comes in Ville Husso, though. 4-1 is win-loss record, but he a 1.82 goals against average, and look at his save percentage, 942, or 941, sorry. He just killed it against us. Damn, we lost to a backup goalie. 75 overall, this sucks, but... oh well. Before I end this off, let's go and take a look at the awards for this season. So, Stanley Cup, obviously, the St. Louis Blues won it in the finals against the Leafs. President's Trophy was awarded to the San Jose Sharks. Clarence Campbell was St. Louis. And the Prince of Wales, your Toronto Maple Leafs. So let's move on to player awards. Player awards, Art Ross is Alexander Ovechkin. Hart Memorial was Alexander Ovechkin. James Norris, Duncan Keith. Lady Bing, Patrick Kane. Calder Memorial. Anton Rodin won it. Wow. It's pretty crazy. Conn Smythe, Jake Allen. Vezina's Craig Anderson. That's probably why he's so good. William Jennings was Craig Anderson. Bill Masterton was Andres Sekera. Frank Selke was Patrice Bergeron. Ted Lindsay was Alexander Ovechkin. And Maurice Richard, Alexander Ovechkin. So Ovechkin had a great year. We beat him in the playoffs, but that's all really matters there. So anyway, that was the awards. Let's get right back into the video. That's just how the playoffs are in the NHL. But I guess on this episode off right here, this was the Steven Stamkos experiment to see how well he do on the Leafs with one season. And he killed it, though. Made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. But he unfortunately lost to the St. Louis Blues. So anyway, I guess on this episode off right here, just make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.